Alright, Smackdown. There's only two things I really care the most about here. Everything else is going to be blown through. I'm just going to go quick by it because it's not a lot on this show. I know you're going to say, dude, there was some stuff. Yes, the two things I'm worried about, the two things I'm thinking about, the two things I'm curious about, that's what's here. But everything else, honestly, was not much. First match. I'm going blowing through this. You know who was in it. You know who lost. Look, if I'm going to be honest, and I'm being honest here, guys. Look, other people will not agree with me. I'm sure JD might not agree with me, and I'm definitely sure just Alex isn't going to agree that much with me. But for me personally, I don't feel right. Look, I said it myself well before anybody else. Everyone saying she's going back to WWE. I said no. I wanted her to go and either stay in TNA, Impact Wrestling at the time, or go to AEW and go with Mercedes. That would have been better for her. I just feel that what's happening to Trinity, the real woman Trinity, what is happening here is what happened to Triple H when the Clique left. I'm being honest here. Let's make this clear. This is me. I'm not saying anybody else. This is me. If you saw Triple H's own documentary, he made it very clear when the Clique was about to go to WCW and Jump, they had that one last match together. They showed each other affection, and then that show was over. And with everybody gone, Vince pointed straight at Triple H, to Paul, and said, you know what's about to happen, right? He says, yeah, you're about to eat shit and like the taste of it until I find that you've earned your right to get back. That's what it feels like with Trin. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that this is going to be really bad for her, but I truly believe she should have just stayed away for a while. I do not trust this company, not one bit when it comes to Trinity. I don't. Sasha made, in other words, Mercedes made the right choice. Go to AEW. And then after AEW, yes, I'm not following what's going on with TNA. She can go to TNA next. I truly believe that's the best thing. Mercedes stay in AEW for a while, then go to TNA, hopefully when they straighten themselves out. And then after a while, let everything cool off. She goes to WWE. Because right now was the most dumbest thing I truly believe Trinity has done. Because unless I'm wrong, and they got something prepared for her going forward past WrestleMania, because I don't think they have anything for her at all. At all. Unless Tiffany is going to be her challenger at WrestleMania, which could happen. I don't believe Trinity is going to have anything until maybe, if they even give it to her, SummerSlam. And that's if they give Trinity anything, because if they're doing what I said, what Triple H went through with Vince, because Triple H is the one who's making the final say at this moment, being head of the creative, you're going to like the shit. I'm going to feed you, and you're going to like the taste of it if you want to get back in good graces in WWE, because the way she left. You know what the match was. It was not about the quality. It's about her losing. I'm sorry. I just do not believe it's good. She came here, doot, Elimination Chamber, doot, here, doot, here. I think that's next. She's going to probably job again if she's lucky. She won't, but she probably will. There. Now, I won't say Tiffany looked bad, but that's what I think about Naomi. Let's move on. Next match. The Braun Breaker versus Quinn. I don't know why I'm mentioning this, but Braun just destroyed Quinn. Now, this guy was Lee Quinn. I believe that's his name. I only seen him maybe twice. NXT. Guy looks jacked, looks great. Got his ass whooped in less than 5 seconds. Actually, it's about 3 seconds. The match starts. He gets speared. It's over. Makes Braun Breaker look like a monster. Question is, how far are they going to go with Braun? People do like Braun. I like Braun. But the question is, how are they going to book him? Next, Randy Orton versus Austin Fury, because Austin Fury and a little bit of Grayson Waller were making fun of him in the Elimination Chamber getting nailed. We had KO by not ringside, but more like commentary. Well, the reason I'm kind of botching here, he kind of went from wanting to go into that ring to working commentary. Even though he didn't go in the ring, he's cheering on Randy. It just made me think that Randy and KO are going to work together against Austin Fury and Grayson Waller. Really? Really? Before Logan Paul? Where is Logan Paul? This is one of the problems the U.S. champ is going to be. He's not always there. He's not an active member of the roster. I would rather see Logan Paul dealing with Randy Orton. I would have liked to see Logan Paul just have a segment here, or Randy Orton addressing it, than actually having him in this match. Of course, you know who won. KO helped a little bit after the match, and that's it. But I really, really, really didn't care. I'd rather see Logan dealing with a Randy Orton, because that looks like that's all we're going to get. Now, LA Knight confronting a little bit of a Nick Aldis, because he wants his hands on a little bit of AJ Styles. AJ's not there, but he's making it very clear with the broken chair that he got nailed with, since AJ went across the world to just screw with him. It may come down to them having a match at WrestleMania together. Now, AJ's had a WrestleMania match. At least 1 or 2 matches, I believe. Easily. So, this would be good for LA to be dealing with someone that, look, AJ Styles and LA Knight have worked with each other in Impact Wrestling at one time or another, I do believe. At least 1 or 2 times they worked with each other. Or outside of Impact Wrestling TNA. So he's not like he's not unfamiliar with him. So if this is leading to a WrestleMania match for both of them on night 1, I'm all for it. I got no problem with it, because it will give LA Knight a good understanding of what WrestleMania is like for himself, and another spot for AJ to pretty much write on his belt that I did another WrestleMania and I helped to put over a friend of mine. That I'm cool with. Now, let's get through the 2 things I cared about, make it quick. First one, the Kabuki Warriors versus Dakota Kai and Bayley. It's a tag match, and it was for the titles. Now, here's where it gets interesting. We all had a good idea that Dakota Kai may turn, and there's some who believe she wouldn't turn after what happened, not only when she spoke. I'm not going to lie to you, I didn't really think about it. I didn't really think about will she turn or not, because I haven't been paying that close attention to Dakota Kai. I'm not going to say I have. Look, she's been out a lot due to the fact of her ACL injury. So I really didn't pay much attention to her. Doesn't mean I didn't know she was there, but honestly, if she had turned or not, it wasn't something I really cared about. It was Bayley dealing with a Io Shirai, I'm sorry. But that's what I cared about more. And even when last week we got what we got, I still really didn't care. So knowing we have this match here, I still didn't care if Dakota turned or not. I figured it's going to be 1 or 2. And we wouldn't know how far they're going to go at WrestleMania, because we still got 5 to 4 weeks left. So I just don't see anything really important to worry about. Either she is going to turn eventually in the next couple of weeks, or she won't. That's how I felt. And I'm not against Dakota, it's just how things have been booked. So the match was alright until it was time to get a tag in, and she basically blew off Bayley. Bayley said she knew. And if she knew, she shouldn't done that. Saying that she knew, but hits the mat beforehand, there was no point of it. She should have just went, I knew. And wouldn't like that, I knew you were going to turn, then jump up and attack. That would have been better than slamming her hand onto the mat, because it just made it look like she's lying, she didn't know, and she's just saying it to make herself look not so vulnerable, which could also be sold. And she got her ass whooped. I will say that kick to the back of the head made me think of Shinsuke Nakamura. The Kinshasa, you could say the Queenshasa if you want. Instead of it doing to the face, she did it to back of Bayley's head. Queenshasa for the win. I'll say it like that. It looked good. Now the question is, where do they go and structure things from here? Because we can have Dakota turn or not. It's about how Bayley is going to be dealing with Io now. And how they're going to book a Bayley by herself, or we don't know if Charlotte is going to come back. She's still working. She's still trying to recover. You never know if she's coming back soon. I don't think she will be. But you never know that they may try to, if Charlotte is ready, she may come and help beforehand or be there at WrestleMania and try to save her from the rest of Damage Control, and they'll go from there, counting if she's recovered enough, which I don't think she is. I don't think she's ready yet. I do not believe Charlotte is ready. Final thing I'm talking about is the opening bloodline. The twist of the bloodline. Let's make this clear. Roman Reigns telling Glendale, Arizona, acknowledged me 3 times and he didn't get what he wanted. So now he wants to walk off, but he could not because the tribal chief was told by the wise man that The Rock wants to come out. Oh my goodness. Someone is still kind of salty about this situation. I know that people are going to say, dude, he's just doing his line. He's doing his bit. No, guys, let's make this clear. Dwayne Johnson is no different than anybody else. He wanted what he wanted. And I'm definitely sure that these lines that he's been kicking out is a little bit of venting. Because the way he was calling Arizona off as the crack capital of the world, saying you crack babies, you crackies, you just love to snort. You want to just go, like that. I'm just saying that when you heard his stick, we've heard The Rock over the years when he was really active and he went far. But this time, honestly, this is a little more than just being a very nasty little heel. A little bit of heel bitch. This is a guy who literally has been denied what he really wanted. He's gotten the position on the board of directors, the executive chairman. We know that he is on the board and he probably taken Vince's executive chairman position. We know he got $30 million for coming in as a member of TKO. We know this. And the one other thing he wanted next to getting his own writer, which he did get, was to get a moment with Roman Reigns. To do what he wanted, to be the good guy in this, and his cousin to be the bad guy, and have the biggest moment in history. And he has been denied by the fans. And that has pissed him off. And he's focusing all that aggression into his promo. That is how I'm perceiving it. This isn't just him trying to show off and just trying to really piss off the fan. He is venting a little bit. This is not a joke, guys. Everyone else may not see it. This is how I'm seeing it. I don't care what anybody says. There's a point when you blur the lines of reality and fantasy. As I've always said, perception is reality. This is a little bit more than just him doing a really good promo, trying to piss people off and trying to put over the bloodline, saying the deal that I'm about to give you with Roman is that night 1 of WrestleMania, me, Roman, you, and that little bitch, Seth Rollins. He's burying Seth Rollins, who doesn't look good as it is. I'm telling you right now, since the time of that press conference for WrestleMania, Seth has looked like a bitch. And the consolation prize for Seth Rollins is Drew McIntyre. And I'm not even against Drew. I love Drew. And I like Seth. But let's be honest. Seth has just been buried legitimately. And he's working with Drew, who really isn't going to get anywhere other than working with Seth. And pretty much, Drew is now being left out of the equation because guess what? Yes, he is going to get his match against Seth, but Seth is going to get night 1 and probably also get night 2. Unless they're going to make Seth work night 1 twice. He's getting night 1 and he's going to possibly get night 2 with Drew. That might be a possibility. Unless, like I said, Seth is going to do night 1 twice, which really leaves not much for Drew McIntyre at all. He's still getting the short end of the stick as it is too. So, Seth is the bitch with a Cody Rhodes. And if they face us, you face us, we win, we lose, you don't get the bloodline in the face. Night 2. Me, Solo, Jimmy, the wise man, we're not there. It'll be in writing, fine. But if me and my cousin win, It is bloodline rules. We do whatever the hell we want. And he made it very clear. If I want to knock you up against the head, if Solo wants to sing, and he's trying to put over Solo, trying to say Solo, he may not look very good. He looks intimidating, but that boy can sing. Stupid, but that's what Dwayne wanted to do. But he made it very clear this is what he wanted. But as he's about to finish his stick, if you smell what the bloodline is cooking, he's stopped by Roman. He says, I love family. You know I'll do anything for family. But there's one thing I need done. You must be done. And he looks at the high chief. The tribal chief looks at the high chief and says, acknowledge me. Takes off the glasses, looks at him, and he says, Roman, I acknowledge you, my tribal chief. Lock hands, give a hug, and as he does the ending part of his stick, he doesn't say the bloodline, he hands it over to Roman, who's actually kind of surprised, which I actually like that. It doesn't mean that he won't still get screwed over by Rock by night one, because he could still get screwed over, because as it stands, which I'm sure just Alex may say it, or JD may say it, that having this set up like this may actually give us the moment where Cody wishes for everything to be taken from Roman. Because if Roman and The Rock loses in this match, everything will be taken away from Roman. He will not have Solo, he will not have Jimmy, he will not have the Wise Man, he won't have Rock. He'll have nobody. So this could be the setup for that going into WrestleMania Night 2. Because they're going to say it. Anybody's going to say it. That this could be the setup. Or it might not be the setup. But I am telling you right now, that stick that he talked about, the fucking crackhead shit, that was a little bit of the real Dwayne Johnson taking it out on the fans. He was not happy about this. Trust me. Rock is not a guy. The real man is not someone who likes to be denied something. He's the type of person who likes to have the way he wants. And I'm telling you, the way that promo went, a part of it was real. He wanted to say, fuck you fans for taking my moment away from my family that I wanted. Suck my dick. That was a little bit of what he wanted. But this is just me. Peace.